So Mach Rider on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a fast-paced post apocalyptic action game racer where players speed across barren highways as a lone biker defending the remains of civilization. Developed by Nintendo, the game blends high speed driving with shooting mechanics, requiring you to dodge obstacles, weave through enemy vehicles, and fire your weapon to survive increasingly difficult stages. With its stark desert visuals, tight controls, and surprising level editor mode for the time, Mac Rider stands out as an early example of Nintendo experimenting with hybrid gameplay concepts on the NES. And yes, the level editor reminded me a lot of how there was also a level editor in Excite Bike. They were really ahead of the curve, I think, on trying to get those mechanics into like original NES games, like first year one NES games. And then it just like never really came back until modern day. Uh so yeah, course editor, there was a callback to the game in Super Smash Brothers. I forget which one, but one of them has a trophy assist style reference to this. And despite being memorable, it never got a true sequel, making it something of a cult classic among NES fans. So, what did you think of Mac Rider?
Yeah, I think not a lot of people played it and didn't get a sequel. I don't. It's hard to say like why it initially didn't get a lot of play, but I think there's issues with the mechanics of this game and the presentation of it, which makes Excite Bike just overall the better game. And Excite Bike was also a game that came out about 2 years before this one did.
Mm-hmm.
But why it initially never really went anywhere is a part that I'm not really too sure about because saturation in gaming markets is totally different in the 80s than it is now. And I don't really have a good reference point because there's a ton of old platformers, there's a ton of old fighting games. Why can't there be multiple racing bike games? Like
Yeah.
it seems like Excite Bike kind of took over, but perhaps it is because Excite Bike is just a better experience overall. When I played this game, I think the best thing to do because it's really hard because the camera should be just further out from you. It's really hard to
Mm-hmm.
see the corners. I think the best thing to do is just go as fast as you can, and if you run into
Yeah.
something, whatever. Because the other
Yep.
option is slowing down, and then you got to slow down anyways if you crash. So I think the best thing to do is just go all out. And overall controls pretty intuitive. I mean, like two buttons, one's acceleration, one is shooting. Um that doesn't sound like very much, but at the time, pretty
It's
good.
an NES
like
controller.
but
Yeah, you got two buttons.
right, like they definitely, it sounds crazy, but I think they did as much as they could with what they had at the time. So I think they could have made a couple small changes to make this game better, but why
Mhm.
it just never got a whole lot of attention in 1986, I don't know. So what did you think?
It it reminded me of a lot of things. Like the obvious one is pole position because it's the same visual style, the same kind of road. Um, that kind of tapers back into like a triangle for the force perspective. And it's so it definitely reminded me of that. But it also reminded me of a time when we had like almost a genre of motorcycle combat games because there was this, there was oh now I'm blanking on it. It was Road Rash. Do you remember Road Rash? Was a game where you had like motorcycles and you'd fight each other towards the side. Um I believe that was a Sega Genesis game. I don't know if they had that on
Sounds
Nintendo,
familiar.
but yeah. So you had this. You had Road Rash. You had on PC there was a LucasArts game called Full Throttle, and Full Throttle was a point and click game like Adventure of Monkey Island, but it had these motorcycle segments in it where it was motorcycle combat. And then Full Throttle was in there. And then obviously big core memory is Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII has that entire segment, which is motorcycle combat, and then you can replay the motorcycle combat when you get to the gold saucer. So, yeah, just I feel like this is something that we saw a lot of in early video games, and yeah, those games, every single one I mentioned is almost from a different generation. But where is the modern generation's motorcycle combat game? I feel like we could benefit from something like this.
Definitely, definitely. And overall, I think it was a. It's ranked really low for me. It's overall really fun experience, but it's just flawed, unfortunately, for what it is. I think there are times where it is unnecessarily difficult, like, and it's not the combat, but it's more that there's parts that you just can't see, like
Yeah.
when you're going around a corner, and it's not like you have to react quickly. It's just that you can't see it, and I just think like if you move the camera out just a little bit more, it just makes the game a lot better in that way, because I like the concept, I like the idea of it, and I think it offers something new on the system. But unfortunately, it's just not something that I would come back to that much. Level editor is great, especially for this generation, and the endurance mode was the most fun for me. I think is it
Yeah, me
just
too.
yeah. I would say that was the most fun out of the 2 3 modes we had. It is 142 for me, which is crazy. But I think it is. I think I don't. I don't think I would recommend it, but I don't think it's a bad game. So we're kind of at the point where I kind of think 142 is still not a bad game. But I had to put it below. But I had to put it below Excite Bike, which was 133. Um,
See, okay, I actually liked this better than Excite Bike, but out of all the racing games we've done so far, that's about the only game it beat out. I put this at 127, and I just had to check. My Excite Bike is at 159. And I really just never got a handle on the mechanics of Excite Bike. This is a game where I feel like I understand the mechanics, it's just difficult. Whereas Excite Bike, I was just always overheating my engine and not doing too well. So this game I put at 127. Some other racing games, I also ranked it above like Excite Bike 64. But this is not as good as, let's see some other racing games. F-Zero X is at 118. 1080 Snowboarding at 121. That's kind of a racing game. Uh, yeah, so down at 127. I'm comfortable with it there. It's sitting in the neighborhood of it's right above the Lost Levels, which is another frustrating game, and they're kind of equally frustrating. So that's where I put it.
yeah, I don't. I'm sure my loss levels are higher. uh, yeah, and hey, listeners, if you like this game and you think we're wrong, let us know, because you might have been someone who played this game growing up, or a virtual console, whatever it might be. It certainly has been re-released a number of times now. So yeah, let us know.